Check, check.
Alrighty. Well, I do this so infrequently, so it's just yeah.
Check. Okay, everybody, we are in here, and yeah, we have a result. We have back-to-back results, guys. If you guys can hear me, put some ones in the chat. Unfortunately, Michael is still sick. Please wish him all the best in the chat. And yeah, I'm going to also tweet this out a little bit, but so bear with me while we try to do that as well. But yes, let me make sure everything is all kosher before we start rolling, because we've had some trouble the past couple times. So I just want to make sure that we're all good to go before we really start rolling.
My client wanted a refund because my
Yes. So, let me share this before we commence. But here we go. Boom. Yeah, let us know your thoughts, guys. I mean, back-to-back results. Are you guys happy? Are you guys still pissed about the level of play? Do you want to see somebody leave? Let us know. Let us know in those comments. But yes, Jack Dickens, thank you very much for the ones. And thank you for wishing Michael well. The notable prize, thank you very much as well. Early. Lightning Drew says, one, but might need to up your volume just a tad. Okay, alright. I can do that. How about now? Too much? How now, brown cow? But, alright, here we go. And then Garrett says, Miggy looked way better for whatever reason, almost as if he was injured previously and is now finally 100%. I don't think that's the case, but just the difference in play looks as if. And Garrett, thank you for your ones. I'm so happy they tie, says Joshua. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that, I mean, you almost have to count it as a win when you have been just so dire on the road that you get back-to-back results. It's like, okay, especially at the death. I mean, especially after the way we played, which, let's be honest, yeah, while there were better chances, and while it looked better overall, I mean, early on, defensively, we looked all over the shop. It looked too easy for Toronto to get in. And, yeah, I think we were ultimately kind of spared to a degree. But, yeah, Jack Dickens says the first half, after my screen stops, yeah, there we go. The first half was positive, but the team lacks quality in the midfield. I feel like it's our biggest weak point. No one controlling the tempo or creating. 100%. Someone asked me at the watch party that, yeah, is this, like, what's our problem? Like, why are we as bad as we are? And my first thing out of my mouth is our midfield. Our midfield basically cannot control the game at all. And essentially, there's no connectivity between the lines, as we all know. And so, you know, ultimately, there are multiple times each game that we just go long because it's just easier to at least get to our forward line. But we also can't do that with regularity. And, you know, in this match, I think we almost had to kind of play it short a little bit. Jaden Hibbert, you know, he had to play instead of Brad Guzan, who had cheek surgery this week. So our captain, for the first time this year, did not play. And Miguel Miron was the captain. Did you guys feel like there was a difference? I mean, let us know. Let us know in those comments. But Jack Dickens says, I would personally play Hibbert, see if he can actually be a starter next season. But would you but would you basically say, hey, Brad, captain, you will not be playing for the rest of the season? I don't know. I don't know if that's really the move, per se. But, Mark, join in. We'll talk about the game. He'll join us here. But yeah, Josh says, I wish to go overtime for Atl United. How do you mean? Not quite sure exactly what you mean there, but yeah, I mean, I think it's this. It's like the quality in the final third as well is just always lacking. And I mean, Miggy skied it 3 times. Moranchuk on a free kick couldn't even put it on goal, and it was a perfect area to actually do that. I mean, maybe a little too close to the box per se, where you can let it dip, but it's still, you got to put it on target. And I think I was telling Mark, you have to go back post. You know, do one of those kind of curl outside upper 90 top left corner type of deals. But yeah, he tried to, you know, put it over the box or over the wall, and it just speaks to like the lack of goal scoring instinct. Nick Dunbar says, can't sit Guzan for a few games to see what Hibbert can do. Season is still not over. I mean, yeah, there still is hope. I think once we're mathematically out of it, maybe that might be a different thing. But hey, Mark, join in. Anyway, yeah, Mark is here. I'm just not sure why you can't hear me. But anyway, so Jack Dickens says, Nick, really, bro, you think we make playoffs? I mean, yeah, I get it. I get the sentiment, Jack, that, yeah, you know, but last season, we mathematically were out of it. But I think it's also this, so, you know, the game somehow worked out in our favor in the senses where the penalty, like, I don't know how it took that long. And it was almost to Toronto's own detriment that they wasted that much time. And, you know, a guy had a cramp and had to be taken off. Well, yeah, Luke Brennan came in, was able to provide a good bit of energy, won that penalty, and ultimately, yeah, you know, Atl Utd was able to do just enough. The perplexing thing was why he took it right-footed. He's a left-footed player. But somehow, he got enough. He got just enough on that. But, all right, let's get in here. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. I figured out why maybe he wasn't joining. But here we go. But yeah, no, so it's like, it's one of these where, actually, I'm gonna hop right out. Oh, never mind. Here we go. Boom. There we are. Guys, I don't usually push the buttons on the stream, so it takes a minute. But there we are. Okay. Marky Mark. Welcome in. I did not hear what you said. I don't have my volume up. It would help if I actually... Yeah, here we go. Boom! Guys, it's an adventure tonight. It's an adventure tonight. But go ahead, man. Let us know your thoughts on this game.
Gosh, what a struggle for us to even generate any loose chances. You know, get a shot on target. It was so dire. It was just so dire. And like, I don't want to turn it into a negative because obviously we got the result. But if we didn't get that penalty, I don't know if or how we would have scored.
It didn't look like it was happening. Honestly, I mean, it was, you know, miss after miss. At least we put some shots on target. I mean, last match, yes, another draw, but that was one of the worst performances and displays of football that cannot actually be described as that. So yes, it was just by a smidgen, which was by default better. But yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, as far as you know, just from what you've seen in this match, it's like, you know, Emmanuel Atl Utd, he had one shot on target in his past 11 matches. Right.
What man? When the commentator said that, we looked at each other like, I know I didn't hear that right.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't surprised, unfortunately, and I think that's one of the worst things about it is that it just feels like it just, you know, he's had so few chances that it makes sense that he has not put any on target. And, I mean, meanwhile, you know, other players have taken a good number of shots, but also have not put it on target. And I think it's just, you know, the perils, really. But, you know, early on as well, Schleich coming back into the side, he put a scorcher on target. And do you feel like that at least kind of set the tone of, hey, we can't be afraid to shoot?
Yeah, I mean, I think in general, the first half was decent from a lane night perspective. You know, like still not a lot of great chances, but Atlanta United felt a little more dangerous in the first half, right? And so yeah, maybe that was a catalyst for you know, for the rest of the team. Yeah, I just thought the football overall, at least like the build up and so on, and you know, the ability to win the ball back and so on, I thought that was actually decent in the first half. You know, it was just like, okay, it wasn't quite clicking in the final third. And then, man, that starts to the second half, you just felt it. We said it. We were like, this is when we can expect a goal to be scored. And like, it was literally a minute later that they scored. So it just, I don't know, it's frustrating that it feels like it's just so difficult for Atlanta United to score. And then they feel incredibly vulnerable in certain moments of matches to the point where you're like, yeah, I think the other team's going to score now.
It's inevitable. It's inevitable at times, especially after the half. Whatever it is, it's you know, the dial of team talk is just not a thing that like really galvanizes the team. Basically, it's like it's almost where the team gets lethargic and complacent after the half, and it's just like they constantly just get scored on right after the second half starts. So, yeah, it definitely is perplexing. Nick and the ATL, come on in. By the way, yeah, we'll do this 3 style, but the yeah, let's look at the chat a little bit as well here. There's a little bit back and forth. Yeah, still talking about if we can make the playoffs. Nick says, yeah, we're still not far from a nice spot, which is fair. Yeah, especially with the result. I guess we can, yes. We're mathematically still not out of it. Jack Dickens, yeah. Jack Dickens says, I would love to be wrong, but unless we make the right moves in this window and the team plays with continuity, then it looks bleak. I mean, yeah. What do you think about the chances for us to make the playoffs?
I mean, there's still what, a third of the season left, more than that?
Yeah, about a third of the season. Yeah, we're pretty much way over the half of the season, but I think we're at 21 games, so yeah, we have pretty much a third of it, but it's not running out of chances for sure.
Yeah, I think it's possible. Just because, like, you see this in MLS. Yeah, I mean, we look at us last season, right? Right, like, it looked like we didn't have a prayer in terms of making the playoffs, and managed to pull it off. So I mean, like, we have a chance. I wouldn't make it a very high percentage, but I would say we have a chance still.
So you're telling me there's a chance? It's the Dumb and Dumber meme. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, I think as far as that goes, that's probably it's about as high as Jim Carrey getting with Homegirl in Dumb and Dumber, because which is not very high. But let's get Nick in here. I'm trying to make it work. It's been a minute since I've done the 3-shot, and I don't know why it's not popping up. Hold up, Nick. Sorry.
Technical difficulties, please stand by.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Start doing the elevator music.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, feel free to talk, or Mark, feel free to talk. Meanwhile, but I'm trying.
Yeah. No, I don't watch as many matches as I have before, right? It's not like I'm watching every single match every single week. But it's just amazing how, like, the matches I do watch, it's like, oh, we're still doing the same thing. We're still struggling to score. It's still, the aimless crossing. It just feels so difficult for us to score. Like, it's unbelievable, actually, how difficult it is for us to even create chances. Like, all this money spent on the attack, for what?
It's really dire. But Nick, you're in. Let us know your thoughts.
Well, that was a hell of a match, if you want to call it a match. Of course, for those of you who don't know, a bunch of us got together at Glenn's from 5 Takes, and we were watching the match there. I hated that. I won't say we were wrong, because we were. ELL was clearly off on that goal. It was an easy decision. You hated it, but it is what it was. But I tell you, the most insane way we can get a goal is happened. The most insane way we can get a goal happened.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's really sad that that's what it's come to for us to get a freaking result on the road.
Although, is this the catalyst to get Latte Lath going? He's off the mark now. It's been over 2 months, and finally the monkey's off his back. At least the monkey's not off our back as far as a win. This was definitely our most winnable match of the road trip, but alas, we're allergic to wins. But yeah, I mean, do you?
Yes.
Yeah, do you feel like this gets Latte Lath going?
It might. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what swagger he has possibly on Wednesday back in the Benz against the Chicago Fire, who are, last I looked, pulled back within 1 goal, 2-1 late in their match. It's hard to say. It really is. It's hard to say what this team's going to do at all. I mean, but if there's one thing I enjoyed watching, it was Jaden Hibbert. He saved for the goal Toronto got, which was a great goal, mind you. It was a classic set piece. He showed me some moxie in goal tonight, and we were all saying that at the watch party, like, ooh, this kid's auditioning, This kid's auditioning. And if this is indeed Brad was saying swan song this season, which a lot of us feel it might be, we might be seeing the future here.
Wow, I mean that's really big talk for pretty much one match. I mean obviously he's played at the twos, and
One match, yes.
yeah, but okay. I mean I like the confidence in the kid. Obviously it might be the swan song for Brad Guzan, but yeah, I mean I think for me I need to see a little bit more from Hibbert as far as on the ball. Because, we are going to be that team that still tries to play with the ball. And, we've seen how Josh Cohen has unfortunately struggled in that regard when, he's come in. So, Hibbert coming in, young kid. I wouldn't expect him to be, schooled, cultured with his foot. But, we could be surprised, and I hope so. But yeah, as far as the defense wise, I mean, to keep the opposition to one goal, which to be fair, Toronto didn't have a DP in this match. Obviously, they terminated the contracts of Bernardeschi and Insigne. So again, this was a match that was very winnable. But to keep them to one goal, which right now is a pretty good thing, I would say, as far as Atl Utd goes. I mean, would you say that you saw enough defensively to be okay with it, or you still have worries?
Sorry, I lost your question if you asked me it there.
Oh, okay.
The concrete perimeter is very prescient right now.
No worry. I was saying, basically, from the defense, did you see enough to be, to feel safe?
We played better on defense than we have for a while. I'm still not 100% impressed. Obviously, the first 5 minutes of the second half always kills us.
Yeah.
It always freaking kills us,
Yep, indeed.
It seemed like the first 45 we were playing great. We were just sticking with them and just not giving them a lot. And then those first 5 minutes of the second half just killed us again. You know?
Yeah. It's every time. Like, what do you chalk it down to? Like I was saying earlier, that dial of team talk doesn't seem to be doing anything. What do you chalk it down to?
Absolutely. Maybe change your tactic. Don't talk to them. I mean, what do you do here if you're the coach?
Yeah, give them the cold shoulder. Yeah, just come in. Yeah, you're 1-0 down, and just don't talk to them. Yeah, I mean.
You're 1-0 down. You know what to fucking do. Do it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, it could be. It very well could be. But, Nick Dunbar going crazy in the chat. I love to see it. He's saying, let's see, we have to beat the other team. Cincy top of the league. All it takes is a run of form. Draws on the road. Win at home. We're in. 24 points gets us in. So 24 points. I mean, that basically, we need to win 8 games. Can we win 8 games of our remaining?
No, absolutely not. My husband Greg is over here shaking his head too. He's saying no. If he says no, it's not going to happen.
Is he normally very positive?
When Greg says something, it means something. He is a quiet type.
Okay. Man of a few words, but yes.
So,
When it's no, it's no. All right. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, yeah.
well, I will say this. Everyone, please temper your expectations. 2 points in 2 games does not mean a hell of a lot on the season we've been having. Let's see what happens in the next 2 games at home. Let's see if anything happens. I mean, if we get 6 points, hallelujah. We've got something going finally. But I'm not going to get my hopes up because I've got my hopes up way too many times, only to have it smashed down again.
Yeah.
And I'm over it. I'm just going to go there. I'm going to give it my 90 as I usually do in the supporter section. But that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like you're tempering your expectations for the rest of the season, and very much, just if something happens, great. Is that how I'm reading you?
I'm partially checked out at this point.
It's fair. That's fair. Completely fair. I mean, let's get a little prediction from you, Nick. The next 2 games, how many points do we get?
1 point. I say we draw.
So we lose.
Until they score and really show me some effort, I'm not going to go higher than that.
So wait, 1 point from 2 games?
No, I meant just in the one game. Let's
Gotcha.
see.
Yeah, from the 2 games, how many points do we get?
Chicago, and then that line's got fucking black. Who?
Charlotte.
And then Charlotte.
Yep.
Well, they've been taking a nosedive on the table,
Yep.
since we played them last time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go way out on a limb here and say we get 4 points from the 2 games. I'm going to get a point from Chicago and 3 from Charlotte.
Okay. All right. I mean that's much better than what we've been doing on the road. So that would be double what we've done on the road for the past 6 games. So, yep.
And now I say the factor they've been missing is us, not the supporters.
Yeah.
That's something they've missed, and I knew it was going to be a factor going into this road trip, and it certainly has been. The fact that they've missed that support, and when we get in there and try and help them, it will mean something. It will mean something for them. And if they don't pick up that energy and do something with it, then why the hell are they on the pitch in the first place?
Yeah, that is fair. Nick, final thoughts.
I will say it was a frustrating night. We've had more frustrating nights than this. We were fortunate to get that VAR decision. Very fortunate. I did not think it was a foul at first. I didn't say that out loud, but once I saw that it was being checked, everyone else was like, "Don't do this to us, please. Don't do this to us," because they thought VAR was going to take it the other way. But we'll take a point however we can get it. But it's sad that it's come to stuff like that.
100%.
We need a whole lot more.
Yeah. This is
to even be considered any kind of team.
Right. It's a $50 million attack essentially, and it's not playing like that for sure. But Nick, thank you so much as always. A pleasure. Have a good rest of your night.
All right. See you guys. Bye.
See you. Yeah, Mark, same question for you. How many points do we get from the next 2 games at home?
I'm thinking 2. I think we can get results against those teams, but I'm not necessarily optimistic about it. Like, I don't know.
I know, it's fair.
It's just, man, it's just so difficult for us. I know I keep repeating myself, but, like, they just have no ideas. Or no new ideas. It's the same thing again and again and again.
Yeah. It's the patterns of play are trite and tired and whatever other third T word there is, but it's just, yeah. But Drew, welcome in. Let us know your thoughts.
We pulled out a tie there, and I guess we'll take it at this point in the season. glad to see Latte Lath get a goal there and hope that he can get his form back here. But again, we're just scraping the bottom of the barrel here, just trying to find any positives for this season at this point. Now, there was a couple that we had. Hibbert played well. I'm glad to see that. At this point in the season, I give him Leagues Cup. Let's see what he can do with that span of games and go from there. See if he can kind of prove himself going into next season. See what we have. Schleich coming back into the midfield was good to see. So there's a couple positives, especially going back home. Let's see if we can make something of the season.
Yeah. Speaking of Schleich, I mean it's obviously not quite flat track bully, but it is to some degree. It's lower opposition. I mean, Schleich, I think at the very least can play against Toronto, right? But do you feel like against the upper echelon of teams in this league, can he do as much? Like, can he make as big of an impact as I think he did in this match? Which, I think he helped control proceedings. He did help, I think, shield that defense a little bit better than what we've seen previously. Do you agree, or do you feel like, to some degree, it's like,
I do, because we saw it last year. He against Miami, him and Fortune kind of bossed the midfield most of the time. And unfortunately, he hasn't had a consistent partner alongside him half the time. So he's trying to basically build chemistry with whoever is next to him at the time. But he is starting to pick up some of that form from last season. We saw it in the 2 wins. We saw it a little bit in the game before he got suspended. You do start to see him starting to take over games sometimes. He just doesn't have a good, consistent partner to kind of help with his deficiencies. We know he's a great player at breaking up plays and kind of driving the ball forward. He isn't the most amazing passer, and we don't have anybody that can fill in for that deficiency.
Yeah. I think what's interesting is, obviously Click played the last match. I mean, obviously he had to be subbed off again. It seems like he just cannot complete 90s. But Tristan Muyumba, coming back from an injury, started and was able to finish, pretty much. Well, no, he did come off for TRA, but that's when we pretty much were going for it and, went 4-4-2. But he played a majority of it. Do you feel like Muyumba is the answer, or do you feel like there might be Will Riley maybe has a conversation in this? Is it Click? Like who do you think of our midfielders?
I think the best person we have right now is Muyumba, because I see Will Riley as the replacement for Schleich. They are very similar, kind of these big, like they can track back and break up plays really well. We don't really have that sort of really good passer. I thought Fortune might be developing into that. Unfortunately, with the injury, we don't get to see where he goes with that. It might be a case of let's see if they bring anybody in. And I know we don't really have much depth in that position at this point. Muyumba's going to have to be what we have right now. That's probably the best we're getting right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's look at the chat a little bit. Omar GS says next 3 games: Chicago, Charlotte, Seattle. I mean, these are all at home as well. Nick Dunbar says win 6, draw 6, lose 2 to 3 of the games in order to get into the playoffs. It's possible. per se. Nick Dunbar also says, we're getting results against Shy and Charlotte. That makes 8 points from the last 4, 2 points per game as an average for the remainder of the season. I mean, yeah, are you as high on that as Nick seems to be, where we could possibly make the playoffs?
I'm kind of in the middle. I'm not. I do think we do have a shot here. I don't give us like the 20 to. I think we can put a run together. We have the talent. We just need to put it together. It's just if we can put it together, because we haven't seen that now. There's been promising moments. This was another game where it was a little bit better. You could see a lot more combination between players and starting to move the ball around a lot better. Unfortunately, that last little bit of getting the chances on goal and stuff like that still isn't developing, and that is the biggest concern at this point. If we can start getting chances and like shots on goal, that it'll be a lot more promising, and it'll give us more hope of actually making a playoff spot here.
Yeah. I mean, it's the right time of the season to finally figure it out. That's for damn sure. But, yeah, same question for you about Emmanuel Atl Utd. I don't know if you were listening earlier, but essentially, does this – I mean, it got him off the mark, but does this get him going?
I hope so, because he's had a couple chances, really solid chances the past couple games. And today he had missed by a whisker of that far post, and then he had the one called offsides, and it's more promising than it's been in a long time for him. There was spells where it didn't look like he was getting any chances on goal, and the fact that he had those chances and he got one, even though it was a pen, I hope that brings back some of his confidence, because when he starts shooting more, the goals will come for him. And that's one of the things is we haven't seen him shoot much, honestly.
Yeah.
The whole team has been lacking shooting.
Right. And it's that. It's like, I think, like I mentioned at the top, like Schleich shooting from distance, it, I think, woke up the team a little bit of like, hey, don't be scared to take a pop and really see, and test Sean Johnson. And I mean, yeah, Sean Johnson, one of the better keepers in this league, but still, I mean, it's like Toronto are in the spots that they are because of reasons that we've, I think, seen today. That, yeah, maybe not really bad defensively, but yeah, they still can be. You still can create chances against them, unlike the other teams that we faced. And it's that. But go ahead. Yeah.
And I do think how we were creating chances can be replicated against stronger opponents. We've had very nice combination play this game. Now, I do think that, like Schleich did early on in the game, I think if we take early shots, it kind of gives us more space to have those chances. Then we also gotta, if we saw that we did later in this game, is we played a couple balls over the top and behind. Those sort of things also give us space. We need to be able to mix in our strengths, and we have great combination play. We have speed that can get in behind. We need to just start learning how to mix those together and give ourselves chances. And that's what we kind of saw today. Is we did have really good chances in that first half, and we were doing a lot of the dictating of that game in the first half, and that was great to see. Now, second half kind of was a lot more hope and pray ball, but we still had our chances, and that's a positive here.
Yeah. A comment in the chat, Matthew Hardigan says, Lennon has to go over hitting everything today. I mean, was that part of your frustrations in the second half?
Yes. Oh, 100%. And it's been a consistent thing this season of him. He can't find his crosses, and that is the one thing he's been good at, is hitting great crosses and being able to get on the score sheet with assists that way. You can't do that this year, and it picks up from last year of him doing the same sort of thing, and it's just a case here of, is he worth the amount of money to this team? Can we go find somebody that's decent enough in his same position and maybe move him on? And that's the biggest thing here, is I don't think he's worth it at this point.
Yeah.
Especially with the other stuff we need to shore up in this team.
Yeah. The answer is yes. If we can find someone better, yes. Unequivocally, yes. But Alan Salazar also says, am I the only one looking forward to the Leagues Cup? I have a naive feeling that we may do well. What do you think?
I am agreeing too, is because at this point, what do we have to lose? I want to see Hibbert. I want to see him get a run of games here, and if he can kind of establish himself, that's great. If we can see more of the young guys, if Brennan can get more of a shot, that's great to see. I'm also interested how our transfers line up, what we can bring in at this point. It can be very positive to get a look at what we have, and I do think at some point we're just going to, if these next 3 games go badly and we don't pick up wins, I think the staff pushes all the chips in on Leagues Cup, and we'll see where that goes.
I mean, it definitely would be interesting if we went with Hibbert, because obviously Josh Cohen is the understudy, is the second choice. Now, if he's still injured, obviously it becomes a little bit more maybe obvious that it would not be Brad Guzan that's starting those matches. But it also it predicates that, maybe that we go for it, that we kind of go no fear, balls to the wall, and really just throw it all in attack and actually start to score. Maybe, but there is that aspect that we're gonna run into an old friend, Gonzalo Pineda, and you know how that goes generally when we face old friends. And Omar GS says Pineda puts the nail in the coffin. I don't.
That's what I'm so worried about, is we just get blown out by Pineda's side, and it's just so much pain.
Yeah.
So much pain.
Because Atlas FC. Yeah, I mean they're not playing terrible. I mean we're playing terrible, so it is. There's levels to this, unfortunately, but. I think I think we have 2 more guests. So, Drew, what's your final thoughts?
Let's see if we can. Let's take these next 3 games. See if we can get a couple wins in here, 2 or 3 wins. That'll be great. We can start making a push toward the playoffs. Let's get these players confidence in the back half of the season, and. If not, let's look forward to the Leagues Cup and let's see what we can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's a big stretch for us as far as we're gonna find out what we have for sure, in some regards. I think for the most part, in some of the known quantities, we know what we have there, but the homegrowns, I think this is where we can really kind of figure out, because we'll have a lot of games. We'll still have, a very thick and fast fixture list. So, yeah, it'll be very telling. But, yeah, Drew, thank you so much as always. Pleasure. Have a good rest of your night.
Night.
Good night. All right. Let's look into the chat a little bit more here. But let's see. Jack Dickens says, I was watching that game in 2018, that the 3-3 draw versus Orlando at the Benz. Joseph scored a hat trick. Boy, those were the days. Yeah, those that seems so far away. That isn't that long ago, but it still seems so far away. Because yeah, just the tenacity of Jose Martinez to really want to score, to feel like he has to score, to match Dom Dwyer goal for goal as well. And yeah, I mean, it definitely was one of the more entertaining matches, kind of early on. I mean, it just seemed like, the hunger was absolutely there. Jack Dickens also says, Lat is a good striker. We just don't play to his strengths. If we were to play transitional way, he would bag a lot of goals. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think he is that type of striker where if he can, basically have a coordinated press. This is the problem. I think our pressing numbers are one of the worst in the league. We just don't win the ball high enough to be able to be close enough to goal in order for us to get enough chances. And as well, Braguzan, yes, may lump it long sometimes or try to get it in behind, but yeah, those chances are fewer and further between when we can actually, hit teams on transition. But let's see. Jack also says, instead of getting the ball out wide with both wings, I believe, yes, both fullbacks and spamming crosses into the box, or into nowhere, rather. Yeah, I mean, it is that too. It's like we're essentially, and I think Mark said this while we were watching it together too, basically we're hitting it from wing to wing, essentially. We're just over-hitting it constantly. We're not hitting it to maybe the near post. We're not hitting it on the ground enough. Pullbacks. I mean, it's just, yeah, third man runs. What are those? This team just doesn't know anything else but hitting across, over-hitting across. And yeah, it pretty much at one point, yeah, with I believe Brooks Lennon, that Amador hit it, and yeah, it was cleared, but it landed at the feet of Lennon, which, yeah, nothing happened. But Nick Dunbar also says, I wish we could revisit the first 3 to 5 games of the season. We were putting balls into space for EL in 1v1 situations in the left channel and in the right channel. That pulled CBs out. It did. I mean, yeah, it looked like early on that's, with not only Latte Lath, but with Miggy, with Saba, that we had 3 guys that were willing to make runs. And, you had a quarterback, per se, possibly with Moranchuk, to possibly, play them all, in behind. And we've rarely seen any of that. It's really perplexing that we haven't really tried to feed our forwards in any sort of constructive way. But Nick also says, we were way more dangerous, even if we were disorganized, and EL scored 5 goals. This dynamic made us think we back. Yeah. Nick also says, Leagues Cup, might give us a chance to tinker with a different tactic. If we find success in that space, import that or augment our MLS tactics. Yeah, I mean, I would really love for us to be a very much cup team where we are trying to, win trophies. Because, yeah, obviously, Supporter Shield not going to be at all ever. At least not ever, but yeah, definitely not this year. And yeah, as far as MLS Cup, yeah, you gotta make the playoffs first, and that seems a bit dire. But Nick thinks we have a chance. Fabian Perez says, just joined. Hibbert looked great. If Guzan retires after this season, should we keep Hibbert as number 1 because he looked good today? Yeah, Nick in the ATL also mentioned that he really liked what he saw. This is a very small sample size in MLS anyway. Obviously, he has been playing with the twos. I think, with some penalties, he has been a guy that can, kind of put off some players, which, in cup competitions could be good. He has been practicing those, obviously, so Leagues Cup, that might not be the worst idea, but I think there is, a lot more to see from Hibbert in order to see if he is the heir apparent for Brad Guzan. But yeah, I mean, it is, I think ultimately, whether it's Hibbert, it probably is not going to be Josh Cohen, but we will need to figure out that position. Because Brad Guzan, he had a resurgence last season. This season, not terrible, but it still is. I think, obviously, there's a ton of players on this team that we can do better with as far as a replacement, as far as who we brought in. I mean, again, we have a lot of players, I think about 7 or 8 players that are out of contract this off season. So, yeah, there's definitely room to improve. That's for damn sure. But, while we wait on Nick 17, Mark, you can hop back in if you so choose. I know you might be trying to chill for a second, but Fabian Perez says this was supposed to be be Cohen's chance, but he got injured in training. I think, it definitely is. It definitely is the case that Josh Cohen, this match at the very least would have been his, but unlucky. The injuries in training seem to be rife because you had Kemen Togashi also get injured in training. You had, or I believe in training anyway, and you just have guys that go down like Stian Gregerson, like click early on in the season a little bit. Derek Williams as well. I mean, that was in the game, but it could have also been a little overuse as well. I mean, like we probably brought him in maybe too early after his first injury. So it's just a litany, I think, of these injuries that also have undone us, stretched the squad kind of thin as well, and ultimately it makes this squad that's not that deep already, especially in midfield, especially in defense. That drop off has been huge, and it just we haven't had our healthy starting 11 pretty much the entire season. I think sans one game possibly, but it speaks to also not only the MLS parity with the level of players that you can bring in as the rest of your 11. So if a starter goes down, well, you're screwed. And especially in MLS, the drop off is huge. And those are the perils. But it is also kind of the roster construction. Like, you just don't have guys that can kind of be anything like for like. And I mean, we've pretty much been without Stian Gregerson for, was it 2 or 3 months? Something like that. I mean, it's been a long time. And, at this point, like, I don't know if you can trust him in kind of that starting role. Like, it's been pretty much 2 seasons running. So it's, defense-wise, we're making do. We're not constantly anyway at home, just getting blown out. On the road, massive issue. And yeah, it becomes really, really tough to stay in the conversation in the playoffs if you just can't win. We still have 0 wins on the road. This was definitely, again, our most winnable match. But still could not do the business. So, but, yeah, we'll wait for Nick to get in here. But, yeah, get your comments in the chat if you have thoughts, guys. I've been talking for probably over an hour. I'm running out of things to say because this, let's be honest, this game wasn't that interesting. Like, it was more eventful than the other games. But, yeah, as far as, entertainment goes, I mean, this, the bar crawl that was in Virginia Highland, it was definitely, it seemed a little bit, I mean, it was well put together in some senses. I did have some gripes. There was basically a whole stage with the truss and everything, but basically everyone had to watch it outside. And when you have AC, you have all that, and yet everyone basically had to suffer in the 80, 90 degree weather. And then on top of that, the sun sets in the west, and yet the stage was put where essentially, yeah, there was the lights and the shadows and the silhouettes of the par cans, and it's just all over the picture. It made for a little bit of a difficult watch in the first half, even though it was, from an entertainment standpoint, a little bit better. A little bit better from us, but still, it's tough. It's tough to watch a game when you're having to squint. Like, we made do, but yeah, it's also, whose bright idea was it to do a bar crawl in the middle of July when it's 90 degrees? Yeah, it's a little bit rude, but either way, it was yeah. Hop on in, Nick. But yeah, I mean, it's just like these are things that need to be thought about for sure before things happen. But here we go, Nick. Welcome in. How'd you find the match?
Better than last week. I mean, I've said it before on here. I've said it before in my writing. I don't complain about road points. We've been so bad on the road for so many years. Like, any points you get anywhere on the road, just take it and say thank you. Honestly, like, I mean, I thought they, even after Toronto scored early on what was a really good goal, like, I thought they earned a point. Like, they had it in the back of the net in the first half. He was offside by a step. Like, great. They created some other really good shots. Miggy skied a couple. Maybe he'd want back, but I thought they'd earned a point with how well they played in the first half, and they get it. So, yay.
I like the positivity. I do. I mean, it's yeah.
There are some things to go through, but I mean,
yeah.
Overall, like, you got a point. Hibbert was good. Morales continues to be good. That's all I wanted to see. Like,
yeah. The kids are showing some positives, some ability. Even though,
yes.
you have some moments, but it's growing pains. It's acceptable. I think what's interesting though is that I mean, and this might be fairly obviously why, but that Morales is playing with a Braum, and it's not Morales with Cobb per se. But
yes,
I think.
Yeah, I think it's good on Ronnie. He's not throwing like all the kids out there. He's putting a couple out there. I mean, you can't just put Atl Utd out there and expect them to get results. Like, the kids have to have enough adults in the room to be able to do something positive and, have their skill set show. And I mean, honestly, I think Abram and Morales is not a bad pairing. I mean, I don't hate it. I mean, I don't know what else I would roll out there on Wednesday until Mihai shows up. And, when Mihai shows up, I would probably keep Morales out there with him,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because, you basically have...
He's earned it.
Yeah, you basically have two guys that would be units, that's for sure. But also,
Yes.
I think from a standpoint of solidity, I mean, it's like Luis Abram, I think, has been showing a lot more awareness for danger, for, I think being able
less
to...
risk averse, I would say.
Yeah, and reading the play
Yeah.
really, really well lately, for sure.
Mhm.
But it is also, it's like, Efrain Morales, playing the right-sided center back role. He's having to use his right foot. You're seeing the limitations at times, but obviously he's playing out of position. But,
Yeah.
do you feel like there is, I think in the interim, until at least Mihai does come in, against the better sides, will they start to target that? Like, will you feel safe enough?
We've only got 2 more games till Mihai can come in. He can come in starting on the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got Chicago and you've got Charlotte. I mean, I would just go with it. I mean, it's not like they've conceded 1 goal in the last 2 games, if you want to look at it that way. Which, I mean, he held Benteke to a clean sheet. I mean, that's probably the hardest individual test besides Messi that you're going to get in this league. And today, I mean, really Morales being the only tall guy in the back line, that kind of sucks for him. Like, you watch Toronto drag him away from number 20 on Toronto, who ends up scoring the goal, like the header that just goes downward and into the net. You watch them drag Morales away. Like, they know exactly what they're doing there. Like, they targeted him and pulled him away, and he had a free header on Muyumba. Like, that's a mismatch. And I think you just got to roll with it for the next 2 games, because you've only got 2 more games till Mihai can run out there. And I think you got to think that Mihai is fit. I mean, I don't think you announce the signing 3 weeks beforehand and start the visa process and all that stuff if you're not expecting him to start against Seattle in 2 weeks. So, I mean, I would probably, and then at that point, I think it's Mihai and whoever of Abram and Morales you want to throw out there. I'm not sure. I haven't seen enough footage on Mihai to know whether he's better on the left or the right or the 3 where you put him. So, I mean, probably just whoever wins it in training that week. I mean, they've got enough midweek games coming up that everybody's going to see time. So I wouldn't probably stress about it much.
Right. I mean, it would be, I think, probably a bit tough on Abram. He would feel probably kind of slighted, but at this point, I mean, it's just like we need to get results. So
I mean, you're right. I'm not saying he's played up to his price tag, but I mean, I'm kind of done complaining about him. Like, he's at least been competent, being the adult in the room when we needed him. He wasn't that last year for most of the year. Like, he at least has been that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. And
what do you think of Jaden Hibbert?
Yeah, I
We
mean,
probably already talked about it.
Right. Well, I mean, I haven't gone in depth. I mean, I'm definitely interested in your thoughts, but I have my thoughts. I've basically said it's this. It's a small sample size. People have liked his performance today. I think I need to see more of him on the ball. I think the box presence is definitely a bit there. He is quite a decently sized individual, and so he is able to command a little bit in there. I think I need to see the types of shots that aren't shot right at him, because
probably
those
from a better
were
team. You probably get more shot selection, shot distribution kind of thing.
exactly. So shots that are into the more into the corners. See how he does there. See how well he can get down when it's a pop shot, shots from distance, reactionary shots that he has to make saves on. So I've got a lot of questions, but I liked his performance. But what about you?
Yeah, I think what I've kind of thought about is, I was talking with Glenn about this. I was at Glenn's house today. Shout out Glenn from 5 Takes. And we were both talking about, like, he's not pushing the shots, even when they're right at him. He's pushing the shots in a good spot. That was really encouraging. I think that's something the coaches have probably worked on with him specifically. Was don't put it. Do everything you can to not put it in the way of the other attacker on the far post, or to put it in the air so that they at least have to go win a header or something like that. Like, that was something I really liked. I thought that was a bright spot. And I said this in the Discord a little while ago. I think he's done enough for me that I would run him out there in one of the Leagues Cup games. Just see how it goes. I mean, they did that with Josh Cohen last year. He got both the starts in the group stage of Leagues Cup. And this year we got 3 games. I mean, he's going to get one of those, I think, just based on today. And then on Wednesday, if Brad goes out there, I get it. He's recovered from his little surgery. He's the starter. He's the captain. He goes out there. That's fine. If he's not fully recovered and Hibbert goes out there and gets his first start at the Benz and everything in front of the fans, I think that's good too. Nothing super negative. Just want to see more.
Yeah, and it's that. It's like to the very much degree, what do we have to lose?
Yes.
Let's see what quantities we have.
And that's one of those play the kids moments where I'm interested to see more. It's not like, some of the kids moments this year in the past have been like, okay, I think you can go back to the 2s for a couple matches and work out some kinks and then come back. I could see more at this level for him.
Yeah.
He's a good athlete. He moves well. I joked to Glenn and the other Nick that it was nice to see someone who could actually move around in the goal. I mean, as fine, as adequate as Brad has been this year, he doesn't move well. You can just see it. It's not there anymore. And to see that from someone half Brad's age was kind of refreshing in a lot of ways.
It's true. I know. It's mobility and, reaction time. I think, one of the kind of pillars of being a goalie. So, it's refreshing for sure. Whether it's at the level that we need, that's really probably the greatest question, especially because of our ambitions. So, I mean, at the very least, for the rest of the season, if we're trying to get in the playoffs and be, having a home playoff match or win the Eastern Conference to a degree, I'm not so sure we maybe should do that quite yet, but, those are my reservations. But, I mean, as far as, from an entertainment standpoint, because, yes, we did play better in this match, which is, not speaking that much about our previous matches.
It's not a high bar player.
No, but, I mean, how did you find it, at least from maybe a tactical standpoint? Did you see something different? Because technically, it kind of was. We did roll out a 4-2-3-1 last match, and we kind of rolled with it this match again. Muyumba got the start. I mean, it's did it seem better?
I thought Muyumba did a lot. You brought him up at the end there, and I think we've been missing that since Jay's injury. He brings a sort of just mobility and on-ball presence that I just don't think that Click does in central midfield, and I think Riley brings the mobility, but he's a little bit more of that 6, like in the Sleesh mold. And I think if you're looking at it as a 6 and an 8 and a double pivot, I think it's Sleesh and Riley over here, and you got Muyumba and Click over here as more of your 8s. And Muyumba did a lot for me just in terms of moving into space, being available as a passing option, moving the ball forward, getting the ball to the wider areas, I think. And I thought Miggy and Moranchuk weren't bashing into each other. I think if Miggy's going to be that kind of a bright spot on the right wing where he receives the ball in a positive place, the crosses from him were decent. They were getting in the box towards the targets, and Toronto just has a taller team than us. You can't teach tall. I get it, but some of Miggy's actions on the right wing I think were positive. I'm gonna go back and rewatch the highlights package tomorrow, but those are just some kind of basic takeaways. I thought Alexi still just kind of doesn't do it for me. I mean, the lack of mobility, and it seems like when he gets the ball, he's just a pressing trigger for the other teams now. They know, when he gets the ball, we can put 2 guys on him and he'll get squeamish and either turn the ball over or just pass it backwards. So I think you're still seeing that. I think that just is what it is until the offseason, when you can hopefully kind of take a bath on his transfer fee and get him out of here. But not a lot of negatives for me in terms of build-up. I also liked from Abram and Morales, and even Hibbert. Like Hibbert kind of has a cannon of a right foot. Like he launched that one almost to the end line from his own end line. That was kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
But them choosing when to go long and when to go short, I thought they made a lot of those right choices today. And I think that goes back to what I kind of said at the very beginning when I got on was, they kind of earned that point with how they played in the first half. Like, there are multiple options going forward. They had some good looks. I thought they kind of earned it. So that's all you can really ask for on the road against another equally kind of bad team when the performances have been as bad as they were.
Yeah.
It was certainly better.
Right. And it's this, the narratives going into the match. It's like, yes, I think it's 13th versus 14th, and as far as the most winnable match, because Bernadeschi and Insigne both have been, they're terminated as far as their contracts. So as far as the most winnable match, probably this, but unfortunately, it's also a place that we've never won. So it's like this kind of twofold.
I think they have won there.
Have we
They've
won
never
there?
won?
We've never won in Toronto, I don't think. Mm-mm.
I'm not. I just felt like there was at least one. Maybe I'm wrong. I
Yeah,
don't know.
and I may be wrong, but it's not more than two, and it's definitely not more than one.
Definitely either 1 or 0.
Yeah, it's definitely that.
So-
but yeah, go ahead.
In case the good people of the YouTube stream were wondering, we moved up a place in the Eastern Conference with that point today.
Woo!
We're now 12.
Yeah.
Outstanding, right?
Right.
And our points per game went up 0.9.
Right.
I can't wait to hear Glenn's math on 5 takes when
Yeah.
I do that with him. But
Right, and it's
that'll be fun.
yeah, and
Still
Nick.
the only winless team on the road in MLS this season.
It really is. It's
So,
really bad. But Nick Dunbar in our chat has been saying that we just need 24 points. So in order to make the playoffs, do you feel like
Hey, look,
we can do that?
we're I'm not going to say yes. I'm also not going to say no, and here's why. Hear me out. We have the easiest remaining schedule in the league. We play a lot of these teams that are near us. So hear me out. Chicago is 10th. We're 12th. We're 12th on 19 points. Chicago's 10th on 28. We play them on Wednesday.
6
They've
points
not
swing.
really been good on the road this season.
Yep.
And then that's a 6-pointer. If you win that, you get another 6-pointer 72 hours later against Charlotte. Charlotte has been dog water for months. Like, Zaha isn't it. Ajumong is going out. He wasn't on the bench today. Charlotte are there for taking. If you can get either 4 or 6 points out of the next 2 home matches, like, you're kind of right there. You're kind of right in it. And that's why I'm not going to say, no, like, this week is it. And I kind of said it before. I literally wrote it before the Orlando and Cincy matches. It was at that point I was like, okay, if they get 4 or 6 points, the season is saved. If they don't, it's over. And if they get 4 or 6 points this week, they'll be at 25 points, which is where New England is now. And I don't know if Wednesday is a full match week. I'm not entirely sure, but Saturday definitely will be. Like, if you're right there with potentially a game in hand against some teams, and you get a game in hand on a lot of people above you. A lot of teams above you right now. A lot of folks are on 22 above the playoff line. We're at 21 games played.
Mm-hmm.
You could be right there if you get 6 points. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying it's on the table.
It's possible, yeah. And Nick,
you could also get 1 point and embarrass yourself in front of, they'll have the full beds open on Saturday, full 300 level.
yeah.
You could get embarrassed. So,
And Charlotte,
I don't know.
unfortunately, has come back on us before, with Dean Smith, and so yeah.
In that matchup, we were talking about it at Glenn's house. Toronto is always a weird matchup. Weird shit always happens. Charlotte's had a lot of late game comebacks and injuries, and like Gonzo got fired after a Charlotte match. It was 3-2. Like a lot of weird stuff happens against Charlotte. So who knows? But usually we take care of Chicago at home. So if you can get even 4 points, I think that's like a 5-point week from today to next Saturday. It's a good week.
Yeah. Well,
You're right there.
on the flip side, I don't want to think this dire, but there is this aspect. It's a possibility because yes, while he has gotten a vote of confidence pretty much, but if Dyla does not get at least 3 points from these 2 matches, maybe 3 matches at home, does he get the sack?
Well, Garth said he's not, but also Garth's not there. You know, our thoughts are with Garth and everything.
Yeah.
That's a, terrible tragedy,
It
terrible
is.
news
Mhm.
to hear about. But I would assume that without Garth being there, no decision would be made.
Mhm.
So I don't even know if, I don't know. That's a hard one because I'm not sure that. I think in the press release when Ronnie got hired, I think it said him and Chris Henderson both report to Lagerway. Like, it's not like before. I think Pineda reported to Bocanegra. I don't think that's how that is anymore. I think it got restructured.
Mhm.
I'll have to go back and check, because I would be interested to know, but I'll go back and look later and share with the fine folks in Discord and everything. But
Mhm.
I just don't think that happens in the season. Like, Garth gave him the vote of confidence, now especially without him there. I just can't see it. Yeah, I think he's going to get at least the season. If they finish 14th or 15th, I don't know how you keep him. If they finish, with the easiest schedule remaining, you got a lot of winnable home games. If you win enough of the home games and you make a fight for it, but you miss it on the last day and get 10th, he probably gets it. Mihai is not going to be the only one coming in, I'm sure. Like, you're about to be down 2 wingers with Mascara and Silva going out this year.
Mhm.
He's probably going to get at least 1 winger. You're probably going to get at least 1 midfielder to kind of replace Jay. Like, if they go on a little bit of a home game run and get some points on the road, there's enough there to justify year 2, I think.
Mm.
Besides the fact that I've already said it. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I think it was pretty telling. I mean, Ever Mascara, even in our losses, wasn't even coming in as an option. And then, I mean, yeah, it might have been with the transfer in mind, where it's like, okay, yeah, we don't want to have him get injured, but it was a loan with an option to buy. It wasn't like it was a straight up sale. So there still is like,
Yeah.
you use him if you
And-
need him, but we.
And for those who,
Yeah. Go
and
ahead.
if you may have missed Ronnie's quotes from Thursday, he was very clear when asked about Mihai, the new center back. He was very clear, like, he wants to be here. He is not just here for a paycheck, and he is not just here to live life in the USA after living in, growing up in Eastern Europe and moving to Western Europe and then moving to the USA. That's not what this is for him.
Right.
And that seems targeted.
He
And I'm
called
not
that
saying it's
shit
targeted
out.
at Muscular. He's the one who don't
Yep.
squeak.
Yep.
That is targeted at people who are still here.
Yep.
So,
100%. Yeah, he
I
called
would-
that shit
I-
out.
I-
And I love that he did that, because it
absolutely.
it seems like, at the very least, Dyla, his mind is in the right place, and he's wanting to succeed here. It's just that there are some extenuating circumstances that are making it hella difficult, and it's this. There is that contingent that are calling for his head, but yeah, I agree. I just don't see it. I don't see how it would be a wise move at this moment, especially with all the things that are
Yeah.
going on with, essentially, so many things, but one, the biggest thing, who's going to come into the situation and
who's Rob Valentino? Like,
Yeah.
Rob's not here. Like,
Well,
who is that?
Well, we've got Carl Robinson, and so that's probably
Sure,
the
yeah.
guy that would be, but
Yeah.
and, he's
Or
got a lot
Laurie,
of
the
yeah.
academy director, turned coach.
or him, exactly, Laurie,
Yeah.
but
One of the-
You
one
know,
of the-
Matt Laurie, I think, but it's like, would that be the wisest move? It's just a more and more turnover for. I mean, I think especially if you make moves in this transfer window, it's with Dyla in mind. It's not so
Yes.
that they don't know who's going to be coach again, and
Oh yeah, I agree with that 100%. I mean, if you missed it, Chris Henderson on 92.9 this week said, we, along with Ronnie, wanted to make sure we got an evaluation period, and quote, the evaluation period is over. They know who they want, they know who they don't want.
Yep.
They know who they're going to bring in. Like, they would not be saying, oh, Ronnie gets an evaluation period, just to be like, yeah, thanks for evaluating and not being the coach long term. And I think the other thing I would say on that is, like, we kind of had to go through, like, well, whenever there's a new coach, there's a learning curve. He has to learn the roster. He has to learn what the players' tendencies are. You know, I don't need to watch a fifth coach learn that Brooks Lennon can't cross the ball without Gigi there. I don't need to have a fifth coach learn that, yeah, the kids care and not a lot of the others do. Like, a fifth coach is not, like, I'm talking about, like, Heinze, Rob 1, Gonzo, Rob, Ronnie. I guess a sixth coach, if you want to think about it that way, in the last 5 years. I don't need a sixth coach in 5 years trying to figure that out.
Well,
It's
I mean,
not, at a certain point, it just isn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, it's
It's not gonna change anything.
It's 7-6, I think, because Glassy. So
You had Frank and Glass in 2020. I mean, you're right.
yeah, it's man, whew, rough. It's rough.
And
But
then you're probably going interim for this year, and then another new coach next year, and
Yeah.
then
that would be
That's just-
8-6. Yeah,
that's
just a lot.
then you're also jettisoning whoever you don't give the job to, whether it's Robbo or Laurie. If you don't give one of those guys the job, like, it's kind of like Rob, like, well, you have been an MLS manager, but you're not right for us, or whatever. Like,
Yeah, it's
then
like
you don't get them back on the staff team now, and
right.
that
It's
just doesn't all seem
exactly. It's like, hey, here's a temporary promotion, but hey, here's also a demotion, and it's just yeah, psychologically,
now.
yeah. Go ahead.
Now, World Cup 2026, if we're not above the playoff line, like, that's a different story. And I think everyone listening or that's argued with me about it in Discord or whatever would agree with me there. Like, at that point, it's over. But, like, I would encourage everyone to go listen to Ronnie Dyla talk to the Hudson River Blue podcast. It's an NYCFC podcast, kind of equivalent to, like, us here at Van TV or like Scars and Spikes, Five Stripe Final, one of those. They did an interview with Ronnie like 2-3 weeks ago before the NYCFC game, and Ronnie talked about how, yeah, that first year in 2020 with NYC, like, I had to reset the culture. I had to get guys out who didn't want to be there, were there to live in New York, like, same kind of thing. And it seemed like he's saying a lot of eerily similar things. And then in 2021, we know what happened to them. They went on a run at the end of the year. They were good enough the whole year, you know, on pace to be 50-ish point team. Went on a run at the end of the year and got the thing. So I think that's still definitely on the table for us. So it's hard to have hope. I understand. This was supposed to be the team. This was supposed to be the roster. I get it. I'm with you. It is hard to sit here and be like, God, how did we get this so wrong? But, you know, if the DPs don't fit, that's like the whole thing. And the DPs don't fit right now. We thought they would, and they just don't. And sometimes you just draw the wrong card out of the deck. And maybe that's what happened here. Maybe they just need to give it another go with most of these guys, most of the important players, the TAM players, the DPs, the whatever. Maybe they just drew the wrong card with Alexi and Mickey together. And they could maybe fix it for next year and it'll still work. I think there's enough of a chance of that you just give Ronnie the chance to do it.
Yeah. It's also this, the DPs are not the only problem. So it's, you know, you know, if anybody's solely blaming the DPs, I think it would be a little foolhardy. It's definitely way more complicated than that.
Right.
It's every line.
There are 11 expiring contracts. Like, they're going to replace most of those guys, besides probably the kids and maybe TRA. Like, they're going to replace everybody else. We don't have to go through them right now. We can do that later. But a lot of those guys are going to get replaced. Just, like, change for the sake of change is good. And maybe we need it.
Especially when it's not working. But, yeah, Nick Dunbar, he is saying, went back over the schedule. 7 winnable games, 3 draws. Seattle, Colorado, San Diego, and then also 3 L's, LA, Miami, Colorado. Oh, so wait, that was Columbus then. No, wait.
Columbus, yeah.
COL.
We probably don't pick Colorado.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Nick Dunbar, which one you mean with COL, because COL is usually Colorado, and then you say Colorado again.
I'll pull up the schedule real quick.
Yeah. So that's probably Columbus, maybe. I don't know, but I don't think Columbus is a winnable game.
Probably.
But
That's pretty guys. I agree with most of what Nick is saying. God, a third Nick. There's so many of us. I'm also not thinking about League Cup, so pardon me there. I would add to the winnable games, Montreal away. They're there for the taking. I went to Montreal last year. Shout out those guys. They were so much fun. They fed me fried rice at their tailgate. It was the best. Anyways.
That's unorthodox. I like that.
Right. It was crazy.
It wasn't poutine?
Blackstone out there. It was great.
Ooh.
That like you can get a point out of there. You get points out of there. You can get points in Colorado. I think you're right.
Hold on. This is a very, very sidebar comment, but poutine and fried rice? Ooh.
I was not served poutine at the tailgate.
I know.
I did not buy it at the
Baffling.
stadium either.
Oh.
So we stayed in Old Town, and then the stadium is kind of like in New Town. We took the train there. By the way, puts Mario to shame. That train is like neon lights and is futuristic looking. Makes us look like a third world country. Anyways,
Is it privatized or is it public? Do you know?
Oh, it's public.
It's public.
It is,
Well, that's
it's
the
an
thing.
incredible train
Yeah,
line.
ours is privatized, so that's why they don't have any inkling to improve since the 70s.
And it gets voted down in Cobb County every time they try to expand.
Exactly.
I got poutine at a couple places. There was a couple in Old Town. These just like little mom and pop shop bars or whatever, and everywhere just serves their own version of poutine. And so it always is like the base of fries with the gravy and the cheese. And so then I got fried chicken on mine, and that was just to die for. Like anyone who says poutine is shitty, like you just gotta find the right stuff in Old Town. They know how to set you up.
And especially, it's like, so I get it. I get it why you wouldn't maybe get it at the stadium. Yeah. You get it where it's good.
They had a very interesting setup at that stadium. Like you walked around below the stands, and then like the concourse was literally the ground, and then the stands were all like built up, but it was a nice stadium somehow still. That was a good experience. They had two separate supporter sections. They hate each other. It was wild. It was fun.
Wow. I mean,
very, very interesting.
Good thing we avoided that bullet, I guess, for us.
Yeah. Never been to Montreal. Highly recommend it. But yes, I agree with a lot of those games that Nick mentioned that we think are potentially winnable.
Yeah, he said the first one was Columbus. The second one is Colorado, but yeah. So drawing at Columbus.
I would replace in your winnable games list. I would take San Diego out of that winnable games list. Like they're gonna trash us. If you haven't watched a San Diego game yet, just go watch one of their highlights packages. They just move the ball better than any expansion team I've ever seen. They are so bought in to the possession style. Like Andres Dreyer, their starting right winger, is gonna win MVP. That guy's he had another brace tonight. That guy is crazy. But I would replace that with Miami during the international break. Because we all know who's not going to be there during the international break. A lot of our players, but just as many are going to be missing for them. And we have done it in that park many times before. We've won there at least 3 times I can think of off the top of my head. And, one was in the playoffs, and we also the regular season last year, and then we had won there at least once or twice before that. So I think I would replace the Miami game, I would replace the San Diego game with the Miami game, but it's around the same number, I think. But,
oh yeah, so he's saying. So he's saying Chicago, Charlotte, Montreal, Toronto, Nashville, New England, DC. He's saying that's 21 points. I hope so.
I mean,
I really hope
right
so.
now, that gets you to 40. I don't think 40 is going to be enough for 9th place this year. But I mean, look, if you matched last year's point total and just didn't make it after how bad we were for a little while, I think that's enough of trending in the right direction for me.
I mean,
maybe not for others.
Yeah, and it's also there's a lot of 6-pointers here. I mean, Chicago, Charlotte, Montreal probably that's not going to be.
Let me go back to the standings real quick.
Yeah, but Toronto.
Charlotte has been on a free fall. They were top of the conference 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And now they are just Chicago can't defend. Like New England had that little 10-game unbeaten run that everyone has at some point in the year if they're going to make the playoffs, and they still only have a goal differential of 1. They've still only won 6 games on the year. They had a lot of ties in there. I mean, I'll say this. I don't see us finishing any lower than if we're going to miss the playoffs, it's going to be 10th or 11th. It's not going to be lower than that.
Mm.
Like DC, Toronto, Montreal, I don't see any of those teams passing us, especially because we play them too. We play both of those teams at home still, Toronto and DC. I don't see them passing us. I just also don't know if enough of those points are going to be there. Like, you already played Red Bulls twice. They're above Charlotte in 8th. You already played New York City twice, Orlando twice. You still have Miami. Miami's got, 4 games in hand from Club World Cup, though. Like, maybe that's too much.
Mm-hmm.
It's there on the table.
It is. I mean, yeah, this was our toughest stretch, and we've gotten through it not well at all. But yeah, it's basically 2 points out of I believe 6, right? So it's.
And the last thing I'll say, because I got to get up early tomorrow, so I'll go in a second.
Mm-hmm.
But the last thing I'll say is, if we had a 5-game road trip and you told me it was DC and Toronto, we got results in those games, 2 points. I mean, not ideal, but you got points.
Yep.
And then Red Bull Arena, bogey team, Columbus, who I still think, most of that team is still 2023 Columbus, which I think is the greatest team this league has ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And then Baseball Stadium, New York City. If you told me we were going to lose New York, and Columbus, and then get results in DC and Toronto, and you just put it in a different order as a 5-game road trip, I don't know if we would feel so negative about it if the draws were if it was like loss, draw, loss, or something stupid.
Yeah, it was interspersed.
Maybe we would feel differently about it. But.
Yeah, because it's that stretch of games that just felt really dire, and especially our level of play. I mean, and just injury list of just players going down. So I can see it. I can see the complexion of, I guess, the expectations at least possibly could have changed.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. And like AJ and I have both said, we've got 2 6-pointers this week. Everybody get out there. If you're gonna support this team at any point for the rest of the year, it's this week. They're either gonna do this week or they're gonna die this week. If they get 3 or less points, it's over. And it really is at that point. And then you've only got 5, 6 home games left, and college football starts, and NFL starts, and MLB playoffs. I get it after that, but if you're gonna do this, it's this week. Show up for the team. See you in lot 17 on Saturday, everybody. We got to get this going for them this week. So
you basically said do or die. And I fully agree. It's I think not surprising, but maybe surprising how well attended the bar crawl was in Virginia Highland. And
were you there today?
Yeah, and it was just surprising. I was surprising but not surprising. It's this team has a lot of fans, but they showed up.
Yes.
And it was actually I mean,
I also think with not having a home game in 6 weeks, that'll help too. 2 this week, and then you got another one against Seattle. Let's get out there. Let's get after it. Let's be the 12th man. They need us. Yeah. And I think we can really make a difference, especially against the 2 back lines, Chicago and Charlotte. We can help them out. We can do this.
Yeah, indeed. Well, Nick, thank you so much as always. Pleasure.
Yep.
Have a good rest of your night, man.
See you on Wednesday.
Indeed. All right. Maybe.
So sorry, hold on.
You're good. All right. Well, I don't know where Mark is, but I'm going to end the stream. Nick, I'm going to read your comments here. Nick Dunbar, anyway. But basically he said, I like your Miami shout-out during the break. Miami's going to be exhausted by the time we get to them. 2 out of 15 available, and we beat better teams, Cincy, Orlando, etc. We've beaten better teams. Well, those are definitely 2 games that we really want to win, especially Orlando, of course. We've sucked on the road. That form will not last. I'm calling it unbeaten in July. Yeah, I'm crazy with it. Oh, boy. That's bold. That's really bold. And I hope so. I really hope so. But, I mean, if it does, I think it would be very much a lot happier of a July. And, I mean, when could we have said that this year? That we're unbeaten in a month? So yeah, I hope so. Yeah, you're pretty crazy with it, but you know, Beyonce was in town this weekend, so maybe you are crazy in love. All right, well, guys, that is the stream. Really appreciate you guys sticking around till 11:56 at night here. Man, Saturday night. You guys are passionate. We love you guys. Shouts out to Michael and his family. Hopefully they get better soon. And yeah, it's you know, whatever they're going through, it's just they don't know. They don't know what it is, but basically hopefully they get well and have a full recovery ASAP. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We will see you in the next video. Good night.